day 3 of my little challenge thing. I actually didn't sleep very well, but I woke up at 8:30, so that's pretty good. I made my sister lunch, because she works today, and I made myself a coffee. Um, and I've just been kind of sitting in my room. I went and checked on my plants, and there's a bunch of baby orb weavers on my freaking tomato plant. So I sprayed some like oil water on it. It's like peppermint, eucalyptus, and lavender, which should deter the spiders and have them run away or something, hopefully. So today I have a couple things I want to do. I have to do that poster today, and I'm feeling a little bit better about it. I have to make scalloped potatoes for dinner. I have to make my sister a travel mug. Because I've been making her coffee in the morning, but she doesn't really have anything to take it with, and I just want to make her something like that that's a little bit more like cute and fun. And I want to make a little phone holder. You can make them really easily out of clay. So yeah, that's pretty much it for stuff outside of my challenge thing I want to do today. So poster, travel mug, phone holder. Also, my sister took my car to work because she doesn't have much gas and she doesn't get paid until, I actually think like tomorrow or something. So that means I will either have to take her car or the other car to go on my walk on that trail. So yeah. The weather is pretty shit today, so I'm not looking forward to my walk. But this is my outfit. It's really ugly. I don't really care. I guess I'll go. I already tidied up my room for the day, but low-key, it's like way easier to clean my room when it's already mostly clean. I don't know. Never really practiced that before. But yeah, I already did my stretches. And I think I'm gonna maybe work on some other stuff and see if the weather gets a little better. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. It's just really gray. So, not the walking, and it's chilly out, so I don't know. Hopefully, it's not so much of a problem, but yeah. I'm gonna work on some of my other things and hopefully get them done, and then I'll see if the weather's any nicer. If not, I'll just go to the gym, but I don't really want to go to the gym. Okay, I finished my poster. So for my walk, I've unfortunately had a change of plans because my sister had my car all day, and the place that I wanted to go for my walk is closed now, and it feels really awkward to walk around my neighborhood so far into like the afternoon, you know, like it's past dinner time. So it would be really weird for me to be walking around. So my change of plans is gonna be I will be walking around my house a bunch of times. So that won't be very interesting, but I'll still be walking around, I guess. Otherwise, I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I did stretch for like, well, not stretch, but I did like yoga for like an hour today, which is more than usual. But yeah. And I did my little typing. And actually, I was reading this book, which is definitely like not the most like academic book. I've actually already read this series before. So I decided I would switch over to this one, which I started a little bit ago and didn't get very far in. So I read like a chapter of this instead today. This book is pretty good. It's kind of just like, I don't know, someone's like memoir or whatever, but still pretty good. It's just an interesting artist's perspective. But yeah, so I'll be doing my embarrassing walk around my house, and I guess that's my punishment for not going on a walk around my neighborhood earlier in the day when I realized I probably wouldn't be able to go to my trail. Now for my like video journal. Okay, so today I've been thinking a lot about like what I define talent as and how much like worth I should place into talent. I think that there's some things that certain people are more talented at, but I don't know if being talented necessarily means that you're better at something than someone else. I mean, you have an easier start at it, but when you're talented at something, you don't really learn the building blocks that people who have to get to the level that you just started at have to learn. So then that talent is useless or runs out of worth after a certain point of improvement. And it's like, is it worth being talented automatically and going back and relearning or having to like rebuild a skill because you don't actually know what you're doing simply because you were good at it starting out, you know? Like, I've always been really good at writing and reading and writing. I was always super, I don't know, I was in like the talented and gifted program when I was younger because I was apparently creative and I apparently was skilled like linguistically. But you know, I never really, like, I started out understanding how language worked or whatever. I started out being able to sound out words and being able to kind of use like Greek and Latin root words to figure out what things meant, even if I didn't have an exact definition. But that creativity or whatever, that ability to connect those things, never really made me a better writer or a better reader. It just meant that I could do it. But because I was so good at it originally, like starting out, I just never really fostered a love of it, or it never was something that was like a challenge that I really wanted to spend a lot of time doing. It was just like, well, I like reading because it's entertaining, but it was never like, I like reading because I'm learning something from it. Although I certainly read lots of books that are like learning books or more classic novels or whatever. But again, that's just for entertainment. I don't necessarily feel like I'm somehow able to apply what I learn in those books, whether that be with writing or with how I speak or how I create stories. I cannot write stories. I've never been able to do that. All I can do is write out how I'm feeling or like stuff that's kind of subjective but plotless, you know? And I think with that, I also struggle to find voice because it's like all the stuff that I'm apparently good at or that I apparently have some innate understanding of, which is kind of how it was like presented to me when I was younger. Like all that I'm doing is just copying things that other people don't think of, right? That's kind of how it feels. So I had to basically go back and relearn how I approach writing, or it was kind of the same thing with drawing, although I was never really naturally good at that. It did take a lot of time to build that skill, but I enjoy drawing way more than I enjoy writing, and I was better at writing right off the bat than I ever was at drawing. So, you know, I think that it's just kind of interesting. And people talk about like, oh, I wish I was talented like that. I wish I understood stuff like that. I wish I had that talent. And it's like, well, the things that people call me talented for are skills that I have spent a lot of time cultivating. And there's no reason to be jealous of talent because it essentially just means you have an easier start, but it doesn't mean that you somehow have a full understanding of it. So yeah, that was just something I was thinking of. Okay, I was also thinking of this. I was just making these little like Hasselback potato things in the kitchen, and I was thinking about it. My grandma says that I'm like talented in the kitchen or whatever. She says I have like a good sense of taste or whatever. But the only reason that I know how to like use a knife correctly and clean up after myself and all of that is because of lots of practice, and because I literally like took a culinary class. So it's not any sort of talent. It's really just I sort of already knew how to do it, if that makes sense. Because I learned it more so than I was just innately talented. Update on my walk, bro. Next time I'm just gonna go to the gym because that was literally so uncomfortable and so awkward, and I feel a mess. So yeah. Also my house is not like okay, my yard is kind of weird because like the way it is like really like woodsy on one side of my house, so it was actually really hard to walk through. So next time I'm literally just going to the gym. Or I'm just walking around during the day. But I guess lessons learned. Don't try to go on a walk like at 7 p.m. on a gray, windy day around your house because it's boring and uncomfortable. But, anyways, aside from that, it's time now for. Let's see. I still have to look back at this. I still don't really know what I'm doing. Okay, I've walked, I stretched, I practiced my typing, I read my chapter, I haven't meditated, and it's not close to midnight. So I'll probably just meditate and then go to bed at midnight or before it. I recorded my video journal thing already. I could think of 5 things I'm happy for and journal. And tidy my room. I already did that, and honestly, I haven't really like made much more of a mess. So I'll just pick up really quick, but I don't have to redo that. So yeah, so it's time for my 5 things I'm grateful for. All right, number 1, I'm grateful for potatoes. They're so versatile, and you can use them to make so many different kinds of food. Number 2, I'm grateful for Canva. I'm a Canva warrior, for real. I'm on that. I always am, like, I edit my videos on there. I made my poster on there. It's just so nice and it's so fun, and it's like a nice little design tool thing. Number 3, I'm grateful that I have a steady supply of paper, and that paper's not like a limited resource because I be reading and I be writing. So I like being able to have a bunch of journals and sketchbooks and books. Shout out paper. Number 4, I'm grateful for my car. I realized how much I love having a car and being able to go places today because my sister took my car. Number 5, I'm grateful for deodorant because Lord knows I be sweating. And there's nothing like good old aluminum deodorant. And if it gives me breast cancer, hey, that's a free mastectomy, so not really. I don't actually know if my insurance pays for that, but yeah. Anyways, that's my day. I think I did pretty good. Also, I'm only 3 days in, so, you know, as much as it's like, I feel like I'm doing good. We'll see how I feel in a month when I'm still doing the same 7 things every day. So, yeah. Bye!